Hello everybody, this is Fronto Bobbin here and welcome to Train Simulator 2019 once again. Today is going to be the Miami West Palm Beach special. As you know, my voice is a little bit different today, well I say different in terms of the mood, you know. Yeah, currently right now I'm not in the best of moods, but that'll always change when I get into the Train Simulator silliness. Yes, of course I was hoping that Russell would be today, but unfortunately Russell's had some confusion delay. And Donald Trump has Churchill basically, so guess I'll be all by myself for this live stream for today. Anyway, so this live stream should be an interesting one though. So as you guys know or don't know for whatever reason, I got the Train Simulator 2019 US edition, which means I also got with it the Miami West Palm Beach route, which is actually a route that I've been wanting to get for quite a few years now. You know, originally there would have been a chance for me to get this route back in mid 2015, and I'll get into that in a bit. However, you know, now a few years later, it is now a part of the Train Simulator 2019 US edition. So, and of course, the US edition was on sale. So I couldn't let the opportunity slide. So I managed to get, like I said, I managed to get Trains from 2019 along with the Miami West Palm Beach route. That's of course been included with the US edition of Train Simulator. Alright, so I am currently live right now, so I don't know if anybody's actually watching the stream. Well, according to not YouTube, according to YouTube actually, there is one viewer watching the live stream, but doesn't really help, to be fair. Because I don't know who the viewer is, and I don't know if they're actually watching the stream or not, or if this is some silliness occurring. Anyway, let's go to Miami West Palm Beach. This is going to be an interesting one. I've actually been eager to get out to do this scenario for a while now, because of course I bought Trains of 2019 back on December 24th, and only now I'm actually getting the opportunity to actually drive this route and this train. So specifically today we're going so I'll show you all the stuff that's included with the Miami West Palm Beach route when we actually get loaded into the scenario in about 2.5 minutes now. Hey there, No Folks Southern, welcome to the show. Not that long until a viewer set up to today's stream, and yeah, as you can see, today is the Miami West Palm Beach special, and this is American, so you might want to stay for the entire stream this time. Yeah. So I think that's like I said, it's gonna be an interesting one, because interesting route, interesting train, and you'll guys see what I'm talking about when we get loaded into the actual scenario itself. So I guess I'll mention now. So I've just had some sausagery with Russell, and Russell is, as you know, is a, well, you may or may not know Russell, but if you do know Russell, then, well, if you don't know Russell for whatever reason, then you know he is supposed to be a part of Top Gear. Although today Russell was causing quite a bit amount of confusion and delay, so he's now been exiled from Top Gear 2.0 for the time being, and maybe forever. Depends on how he responds from all this stuff, and providing if he actually wants to get back. Okay, well, I say if he wants to get back in Top Gear, you know, he's gonna have to really prove himself now. But I'm going to be deciding on that as time goes on. That's even if Russell actually wants to join Top Gear in the first place, because yeah, basically he's been exiled for the time being and possibly forever, like I just said. So, now the question's up in the air if Russell will actually make an appearance on this channel ever again. Well, I mean, I can't really tell you he still will as a voice in a few videos that I have planned. But, other than that, his time on this channel and Top Gear might be up. So, that's a very interesting question. So are you going to be driving a Silver Star? Yes, indeed I am. Good, well, I say good guess, well, to be fair. I don't know. Whatever. Well, you'll see what I'm talking about when we actually get into the live stream. I'm kind of lucky to look through this route already, even though I haven't even driven 10 feet on it, because I've been, well, like, the only thing that I've done in this route so far is just set up the scenario that I'm going to be using for today's adventures. Other than that, I've basically done next to nothing in this route. So let's see. Let's not turn off this up audio. Let's not. Oh, okay. For once, I didn't actually have to mess around with OBS this time. Anyway, here we are. This is I don't know the name of the station because it's nowhere to be found on any of these signboards. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into our train. So what the lead for today is going to be a pair of P-42s, and we're going to be pulling the Amtrak Silver Star, which of course is included in this route. This is going to be a 70-mile long journey. I don't actually know how long this will take to complete the full journey, but well, according to the ETA, it's in 18 something. I don't actually know if that will change. We'll have to see. So let's start by opening up the doors. Oh, silly sounds. Yeah. Yeah, I will just say right now, I haven't installed any sound mods yet, although I do plan to soon, because, to be fair, I'm not really a fan of the default sounds for this train, but we'll see what the sounds actually are when we get going. So let's just drive. I kind of like the sound of the throttle movement for some reason. Anyway, so this is the Miami West Palm Beach route. Now, there's an interesting scenario going on with this. Now, also, we may have the wiper for the entire journey because it's snowing. However, what's interesting is that I set this route up to be winter. However, well, usually in Train Simulator, if you were to set up the scenario winter, then of course you would see snow. However, as you can see in this scenario, despite the fact I've set it winter, there's absolutely no snow at all. Also horn. And I believe that basically has to do with the fact that we're currently in Florida as of right now, and I don't think Florida gets any snow at all. Oh, yay, the thing is actually counting down for once. Cool. Turn on the headlights. Yeah, that would be a good thing to do. There we go. Perfect. Surprisingly, not much of a loss in frame rate, so, okay, get off the throttle. Just a bit off the throttle, please. Oh, this is a combined brake throttle? Didn't know that. Anyway, here's the P-42. Yeah, default sounds honestly aren't that good for this one, so I'm definitely going to install some sound mods from Mr. Fangrailer, and maybe even make a few sound mods of my own, if necessary. Actually, let's just listen to the train as it goes by. Oh, hey there, Lucas Down the Beast. Yeah, one little flaw with the Silverliner stock, or coaches, or whatever you want to call them, is that it uses the sounds... Oh, forgot about that crossing there. Is that it uses the sounds from the Shoreliner carriages, as in the ones that you would get with the P-32 Metro North train. And while these sounds are actually quite realistic for the Shoreliners, they are in no way in the slightest realistic for the Amfleet coaches. Yeah, because as of course this is the Amtrak Silver Star, which utilizes Amfleet 2 passenger coaches, which I do think look quite nice, except they don't sound like the way they're supposed to. Oh, these are the cars here I don't mind, you know, being the mail car, the dining car, and the sleepers. I think those sound just fine. But the Amfleet cars I don't like so much, so... you know, I'm also missed the crossing again, well, you know, I'm not paying a particular amount of attention, I will at least say for right now, but hopefully that'll change as the stream progresses along. Okay, yeah, for some reason we're having to slow down to 20 miles per hour. Also, actually, now I think about it, wasn't it that station that we started at? Oh, that's, Magnolia. Okay. Because we're actually coming up on West Palm Beach. Okay, I guess we can't go more than 12% on the throttle. Yeah, the default sounds of this locomotive aren't the best. I like the sound that the throttle makes, though. The brake is a bit generic, but... yeah, I slowed a bit too much there. Just because I got on the brakes a bit much. Oh, yeah, it's actually snowing now. Because, what was interesting that when I was editing this scenario, I actually edited it with my buddy Domtron in the call. And Domtron suggested, well, even though there's no snow, Domtron suggested that I make this route at least with snowflakes, or this scenario with snowflakes, and that's what I've done. So, despite the fact that we're in the state of Florida, I have opted to put in, snowflakes. And we're coming up on West Palm Beach, which suggests, well, this route, it's called the Miami West Palm Beach route for a reason. So, of course, one of the route is Miami, but the other end is West Palm Beach. And we're actually coming up on West Palm Beach right now, which is a bit weird, because West Palm Beach wasn't the starting Go full power. I don't want to go full power just yet. I am actually. Let's just see what the track looks like. Oh, pfft. Oh no, there's a couple like sharp corners. I'm actually gonna slow down. I'm not gonna slow down too much, but I will slow down at least enough so I don't shake the passengers around. So coming from westbound which is suggesting that this is actually the end point of the route, and well, it's at least the end point for this route for the Silver Star, because the platform, if we take a look here at West Palm Beach, is actually the entire length of an Amtrak Silver Star consist. Although that station that we were at earlier, where we started, however, didn't properly have a long enough platform. I believe because that station that we started at was actually one of the stations for the Miami commuter rail service, or the the Tri-Rail train. Is it called Tri-Rail? I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, yeah, I know we would, the Silver Star would normally stop here, but we're not gonna stop here because reasons. I'll go full power. Well, I don't want to go full power. Just I want to wait a considerable amount of time. Also, default Kuju sounds or joint sounds because reasons. I mean, default isn't that bad. I do have an issue with the bell sound though. You know, I kind of prefer the steel bell that's supposed to have anyways for the rest of the consoles. Yeah, we did get a passenger view with inside the Amfleet 2 coaches, which is exactly the same as the Amfleet 1 coaches that you would get with the New York New Haven route and the HHP 8. Well, I do like these coaches back here. I like the you know. Of course, yeah, we're also pulling this mail car here, and actually, I'm looking at this train in detail. Some of the details are just a little bit phony. Like, these coaches don't necessarily look unrealistic, but pictures are a little bit weird to me. You know, they seem a little bit too grayish to me. I feel like they should be a bit more silver like they are in real life. Oh, that's a great process, that. Also, this mail car that we have back here, of course, the mail car is no longer actually in service. Ooh, that looks quite interesting. Although this route, I will at least say this route itself was released back in late 2014, and the new mail cars that Amtrak uses now, as opposed to these, came to the rails in mid 2015. So they brought these baggage cars in the Train Simulator 2015, as we know at the time, right when they were about to be retired and replaced. I say that, well, of course, so now the mail cars have been replaced, but Amtrak, I remember, but also announced that they were going to be replacing the Viewliners and the diner car. So far, Amtrak has replaced the baggage cars and have successfully done so 3 years ago, except they still haven't replaced the sleeper cars and the dining car. Despite the fact that Amtrak announced all this stuff way back in like late 2000, like super late 2014, I think it was. Amtrak announced that they would bring in all new Silver Star stock, and so far, all they brought in is the new mail cars. We're still waiting on the new sleeper and dining cars for some reason, which is a little bit silly, you know. Well, I wonder if that has to do with Amtrak and the new Avelia Liberty high-speed train, or new Acela Express, or the Acela Express 2, I guess some people call it. And there's also, and of course Amtrak also made a big deal about the Siemens Chargers back in 2016 as well. So maybe that's delaying the delivery of the new Silver Star stock, or something. I don't know. I feel like Amtrak should at least be, you know, mindful enough to, you know, do the stuff straight away, you know? Because the AC-64, of course, started out as a thing in 2013, and AC-64 came into service only a year later, in 2014, so that didn't take very long. Then as soon as Siemens announced the idea of the Siemens Charger, Amtrak jumped on that idea immediately. And Amtrak have said that they will be testing out their new Avelia Liberty high-speed trains starting this year. So Although I will at least say we have yet to see if Amtrak can keep that promise. But despite the fact that they announced their new Silver Star stock first, it almost seems they're leaving that to last. And there was also a point in time where they refurbished their current Amfleets fleet things, you know? And I guess they did that too quickly. Also, these are actually somewhat nicely detailed highway signs. Yeah, for a route that came out in 2014, I will say it looks quite nice. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the way that these coaches sound though, or honestly any of these sounds in general. Well, let's have a listen to them again. I mean, we'll at least say it does sound realistic when it goes by, and it would sound more realistic if these coaches actually had the correct sound, but they don't. Honestly, I really don't know why Dovetail decided to put the Shoreliner sounds on the Amfleets. I thought that the original Amfleet sounds, you know, like the ones from the Northeast Corridor, or original Northeast Corridor and the New York New Haven, I thought those sounds from those Amfleets were fine. You know, they weren't 100% realistic, but they were at least tolerable. Whereas these ones are just not good, honestly. What's worse is that some people actually prefer these sounds. You know, I remember back when Mr. Fanrailer, back when he did videos on the West Palm Beach route when it was brand new. Well, actually no, it was a bit later. You know, when the Amtrak P36 Pooch came out for Train Simulator 2015, as we know all the time. You know, when he did videos showing off that, I remember complaining in the comment section of one of his videos. I remember saying that the sounds of the codes were unrealistic, and I remember I actually mentioned as well that, and I still kind of say that you know, would say this now, that the coaches sound like rolling pieces of plastic when they go along the track. Like I don't know why, but the run sounds on these coaches sounds as if they're plastic running along the rail. And you know, that's kind of what the Shoreliners are. Like well, I'm not necessarily saying the Shoreliners are made out of plastic, although I will always say the Shoreliners are made out of some kind of material that I don't know of, don't know the name of. Although, you know, they at least sound like they should. Well, of course, the Shoreliner sounds they have for this game isn't, you know, entirely unrealistic, but it's at least tolerable. Okay, yeah, now the world is going a lot brighter all of a sudden. Oh, there's a running track. Check this out. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of the track that we had back in Salt Lake High School. Only difference is that the one at Salt Lake High School is in ruins, whereas the one that we just saw there is in pretty fine shape. Or maybe it is in ruins in real life, and Dovetail just didn't do a good job at replicating that. Just goes to show how downhill high schools have gone in recent years. Speaking of high school, well, today was my first day back. It was average, like every other school day, honestly. You know, I woke up although that reminds me, so now it brings me back to this morning. So, today I woke up, this morning I woke up, and I wasn't in the best of moods at first, because my iPad was causing confusion and delay. So basically what happens is that I set the alarm to go off at 5 a.m., and so I noticed that, and I woke up, and I noticed that the iPad wasn't charging, and I was going to go back to sleep. Just lay my eyes and rest until about 6 o'clock when I'm more so awake. But then I noticed for some reason the iPad wouldn't charge up, and because you know, this is a recurring thing. Well, not a recurring thing, but just something salty that my iPad does now and again. And I got so cross about this that I basically wasn't very happy with my iPad. So and I noticed that the reason why it wasn't charging up, because I plugged in to charge it up, and I noticed that afterwards the reason that the iPad wasn't charging up was because the charging cable wasn't even plugged in properly. I was not very happy about this, I will at least say. Yeah, I was so cross that, because usually on school mornings I would wake up at 6 o'clock, or at least try to get up at 6 o'clock, and then eventually make my way to the shower. Also, sounds. Also, just on a side note, the sound of these P-32s is fairly unrealistic. Like, let's listen to this now. Yeah. I'll even go as far as saying that the P-32, that the default sounds of the P-32, Metro North, sounds more realistic to these, because what's the thing? I think the case here is that these P-42s are exactly the same as the ones at the standalone Empire. Like the Empire building. The Empire building DLC. I think these P-42s are the same as those. And I guess when Dovetail decided to include these two, or include the P-42 with this route, I guess they were too lazy to, rework the sounds. So they're like, we'll just stick with the sounds we had before, Like, I would expect they would at least be smart enough to update these sounds with the P-32 DC default sounds, but nope, sticking with the old sounds because laziness. And potatoes. Anyway, I'll get another flyby shot in a second, but anyway, back to this morning. So yeah, I woke up and I didn't wake up. I tried to go back to sleep, and of course around 6:20 a.m. Then Alan woke me up and said I need to go to the shower anyway. So yay. So I was not I was not particularly happy at the start today. But then that all changed when I realized that I would be wearing my Cowboys t-shirt today. And you may or may not know that I have a Cowboys t-shirt because I'm a big Cowboys fan. All of you know. Even though it's one of the few pieces of Cowboys merchandise that I actually own. Oh, can't you studies? Look at the flyby camera just for the fun of it. Oh, really excellent camera shots, Train Sim. I guess we'll have to create our own thing. Here comes the train. Was the game volume awfully quiet? Is it just me, or did I turn down like the volume of the game by like a lot? I guess I turned down my game volume by a lot at some point. Oh well. We're back now. Oh, anyway. What the heck? Oh, shut up! Oh, balls, I almost pulled on. Anyway, let's listen to this sound again. Yeah, I'm sorry, but as a person that has seen the amphitheaters in real life go by, those are not what they are supposed to sound like. Also, guys, I guess I'll just apologize for the low volume for a little while. But we're good now. Don't worry, we'll have a chance to hear the sounds eventually. Okay, maybe now it's a little bit loud. Oh, yeah, I got on the brakes way too hard. I should be a bit more cautious on the brakes next time. Yeah, I don't have any sounds. Hey there, Judson O'Neill. Welcome to Train Sim. Okay, let's not overspeed. Okay, now let's go overspeed. Yeah. Anyway, so back to my story this morning. So I realized that I was gonna be wearing my Cowboys t-shirt for today, and for the first time in I think about a year. Okay, it sounds a little bit too loud now. I guess I'll just turn it back down to 10. Don't want my voice to get drowned out by the locomotive sound. I always say so far, like I said before, there's a nice looking about, and it's it's cool. Anyway, as I was saying, so I, of course I was wearing my Cowboy t-shirt like I've been saying, and I noticed something very interesting. So originally I bought this Cowboys t-shirt back in early-ish of 2017, and And I actually really like this Kyle Busch T-shirt. Although back then, there was one little yeah, let's try speaking this here. Nitpick that I had with this T-shirt, and that was the spoiler height was inaccurate. Because as you know, if you're a NASCAR fan, or maybe you know this in general, back in 2017 and in 2018 as well, NASCAR ran or in the Cup Series, NASCAR ran a lower downforce package compared to 2016, which made the racing trash at most tracks. But I say that. Although then I looked at the T-shirt, I noticed that the spoiler was too high. You know, the spoiler, on my T-shirt that it shows, was, basically the old high spoiler from 2013, 2015 that they had in the Cup cars back in those years, before 2016 when they introduced the lower downforce package back in 2016. And you know, of course, as well, the 2016 package actually provided some pretty good racing. Sadly, then they had to change the package again for 2017 and basically ruin the racing, and then not even change the package in the slightest for the 2018 season because laziness. Anyway, so I put on my but then I looked at the T-shirt and noticed, you know, that spoiler looks a lot like the spoiler they'll be using for the 2019 package, because as you know, for the 2019 Aero package with the tapered space and the other things, you know, they'll be bringing back the super high high spoilers, you know, high downforce spoilers. You know, basically the spoilers, like, I think it's like 5 or 6 inches high. I don't actually know. I'm probably wrong. So, you know, if you want to know the exact height, then look it up online. But anyway, so I looked it up. No, I'm an idiot. I noticed that the spoiler that's on this Kyle Busch car that I have on my T-shirt, it looks identical to the actual spoiler that they'll be using for the 2019 season. So, previously, back in 2017 and 18, this Kyle Busch car, which is in the end spacing by the way, on my T-shirt, was about 95% accurate to the one that Kyle Busch actually drove in the 2017 and 18 seasons, because it was a much lower spoiler. However, it's not going to be 100% accurate for the 2019 season, because guess what? The spoiler that is seen on my T-shirt looks exactly like the one that they'll actually be using for the 2019 season. And I was like, holy moly. So let's hope Kyle Busch sticks with the same M&M's paint scheme for the 2019 season. So this T-shirt will be 100% accurate. And I swear, alright, see you later, just note. And I swear, if Kyle Busch doesn't win the championship this year, after the misery that I suffered as a Kyle Busch fan after the 2018 championship, if Kyle Busch doesn't win, then I will honestly just game at NASCAR at that point. So that was the story this morning, and after that, after I realized that about my T-shirt, my spirits raised up again, and I was a more average feeling person when having to go to school. And then today's school day happened, and well, it was as average as ever, and no one should be surprised. Anyway, stay hits. Oh, flyby shot. It's the wrong button. Can you get another good flyby shot, please? There we go. You know, I know I've said that I've enjoyed this one so far. Well, to be fair, I have been a little bit distracted because I've been talking about so much stuff. To the point where I'm not paying 100% attention to the route. Well, I guess I'll just say for now, you know, I haven't seen anything that is too crazy. And by crazy, I mean in terms of like what the route is or what the route has to offer. Also, mess around sounds. Oh, then again, I'm driving this route in snowy weather. Maybe, maybe if I drive this route in sunny weather, it'll look a lot better. And I will be definitely play some more or playthrough scenarios when or in my spare time. I should have actually considered driving the CSX engine at some point in this journey. I did actually set up a CSX train in this scenario, but I didn't exactly put a drive on it, and most of I didn't exactly plan on driving it. So I hope you guys don't mind very much. I'm just driving the P-42 for today. So I made a goof on that. Oh wow. Maybe some other time. Maybe in 10 years. But yes, I am definitely going to be getting a fan sound mod for this because it sounds, because he phones all around honestly trash. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. So I'm definitely going to do some messing around and try to get the, change up some sounds, because I think the default sounds are a bit rubbish. Like, the detail, though, is nice. And as for the, I haven't said anything about the M-Fleet 2 cooks, but they do look, is it just me, or do they look a bit less shiny compared to the M-Fleet 1s? I'm going to need to put the two coaches side by side to tell the difference, because I don't know why, but I feel like, well, I don't know if this is like true or not, but I feel like that these M-Fleet 2 coaches look a bit different in terms of the color. Or maybe it's just me. Or maybe I do need to put the M-Fleet 1 coaches up next to the M-Fleet 2 coaches, so I can basically spot the difference. Rolling at a steady pace of 77.6 miles an hour. With 44 miles to go, so we've already driven about half of the route. Yeah, it's snowy day in Florida. This is probably entirely unrealistic. Oh, there's an airport here. Airlines. Most generic airline name ever. Is there even a station here? Nope. I like those joints. Well, the joints. At least the joint sounds of these coaches are. Well, I think what I'll do is that what I'll do actually. I just realized something. Oh yeah, I do get a cafe coach with the M-Fleet 2s. So I'm definitely going to do a bit of messing around, just for the fun of it. Also, Q is a thing. Yeah, this train also has a very similar system to the AWS over in Britain, where, although of course over in Britain it's on the AWS, whereas I believe on this train it's known as the dead man's pedal, where, basically it works like the AWS, except it's a timed thing where an alarm will go off, and if you don't press Q in time, then the alarm will force your train to emergency brake, and it's kind of like I said, it's kind of like AWS in the same way, where you have to press Q, or else your train will basically throw its brakes on and come to a complete stop, and that's absolutely no fun in the slightest, is it now? Oh well. Also, is that the emergency brake? That's the horn. Oh, what? Wait. Hang. Wait. this is an interesting discovery. There's literally a button here that triggers the horn sequence. Yeah, why did I don't know. I'm stunned, to say the least. I didn't think that there was a button that made the locomotive do the horn sequence for you. Even though the driver should be completely capable of doing that themselves, but... Oh, simpler. But weirdly enough, there's literally a button in the cab which does the horn sequence for you. That is absolutely... like... How? Why? Like, I never thought I would ever come across a locomotive that does that. Like, I don't know what to say to that. Like, does the driver seriously need a button to do the horn sequence for them? Because for some reason they can't do it on their own? You know, Domtron, he's actually got the P-42 in the form of the Empire Builder DLC. I meant to ask him if that's a thing in his version of the P-42, but also, yeah, we totally just game-ended a car. Boy, I've actually game-ended quite a few morons! I mean, those are common glitch and train sim, but what the heck, man? Also, I want my joint sounds. Yeah, these sounds are totally realistic. I mean, that doesn't sound too bad, but it's still kind of garbage. And the bell just sounds weird. Like, where's my steel bell? Seriously, mate. This is disgusting. Disgusting. Come on. Hang on. This is disgusting, and my voice is dying. Great. Lovely. Yep, I totally need to be losing my voice right now. Me doing this stream now. Oh well, at least now I can do some messing around with the P-42s and these coaches. Also, I still haven't taken a screenshot in this entire scenario thing. Where's a good place to take a screenshot? I want to find a place with quite a few trees in the background. Oh, actually, that would have been perfect. I just got right there. Oh, hang on. Oh. Ah, balls. I want a shot with a bunch of trees in the background. There's enough to do then. Oh, pfft. That was stupid, man. I just took a with F12. I'm a moron. But I say that because I try to undo pause break and I do that now and again for some reason. Oh, that was a very late screenshot. I usually like taking my screenshots early in this scenario, but I forgot to do it this time round because reasons. Well, because I forget things easily. Very easily indeed. Very easily indeed. Oh, hang on. Oh, it was almost perfectly timed. But that's still interesting. Okay, next whistle board. I'm gonna have to do it straight away. Of course, I would be able to just go down there and just press the button, but you know, I'm basically a camera in a train with no legs. Okay, was that a whistle board? Nah, it didn't look like one. Ooh, this part is interesting. Now, what's over here? Oh, it's just stupid siding. Also, these tracks, I will say now, look very similar to those on the to those on North Jersey coastline. You know, same ballast texture, same everything. Like the only difference is the color of the rails, and the fact that there's there's no 3D like you know, things that keep the tracks on the rails that I don't know the name of, or tracks on the ties, I mean. I will say this is a nice route. To be fair, I'm a bit more thrilled about the fact that I have the Silver Star in my grasp now, and I will definitely look for some workshop scenarios to plan this route. Oh, come on. Oh. Ooh, that was timed very well. Of course, you have to deactivate the bell yourself. Well, that's a really nice touch, how they have that button there. I didn't even know that button was a thing in the P42. You know, I wonder if it's a thing in the P32 now. Also, does the ones you get to play on the outside as well? No. Ah, that's a bit cruddy. You know, like, I would think that I would be able to, you know, hear the horn on the exterior of this train, but I guess not. I'm a little bit slower now because it's moving to a 60. Well, we're gonna get, well, according to the ETA, we're gonna get there in about a considerable amount of time. Which is a little bit weird considering that we only have 32 miles left to go and we've now driven over half the route. You know, the interesting thing that I just noticed about these coaches is that, in a way, they're kind of like the GWR Mach 3s. Like, you know the Mach 3s that are included with the Southwest Coastal Route? These coaches sound like, kind of like that in the same way where the sound, like the run sounds are directly by the wheels. Like, you know, like if you go into the center of the coach, you don't hear the run sound so well, where if you put the camera close to the wheels, you hear the run sound better, and the train actually sounds realistic when it goes by. It's an interesting factor on all these coaches, actually. One thing I need to do now, of course, is just replace the default run sounds of the M fleets to the Northeast Corridor versions, and well, there you go. So just after this scenario, or after this stream, I think I'll you know, lie down a bit and watch some YouTube and have some downtime, and then I'll see if Domtron's around later, although I don't think he will be, because, you know, Domtron has now officially gone to Churchill for the day. Well, you know, although it's Churchill, so I suspect he might get home like around 8 or 9. I don't actually know. I kind of want to get here tonight to Top Gear, just so I can, you know, show off the P32, P42 and the Miami West Palm Beach route. But if he doesn't, which is pretty likely, then oh well. So of course tomorrow's Friday, so no stream for tomorrow, because tomorrow's basically my my day to be a bit lazy, because you know I've said in the past I really don't like doing live streams on Fridays. Because it's really not that fun to do for some reason. So, I actually am not 100% sure what we're doing for tomorrow. Maybe some messing about. Maybe with the Miami West Palm Beach route. Anyway, also, I just remember that, you know, there's the story behind this route and something else. Well, this is an interesting story that goes back to mid 2015. Was it 15 or 16? I can't remember. But I'm gonna check right now. If I can pull up Steam without messing everything up. Library. So it happened in 2000. Hang on. 2015. Alright. Definitely 2015. It happened in mid 2015. This transition, by the way. And in mid 2015, it was the summer sale, of course. And there were two add-ons that I really wanted to get. One of them was the Miami West Palm Beach route, this one. But there was the other route that I really wanted to get, which was the Chengdu to Suining high-speed route, alongside the CRH 380D. Now, I want to get both of those things. Well, basically either... So, it was either the... You know, it was basically... Oh, hey, Team Unlocked, Miami, counting on the miles. I guess that's some kind of a achievement for driving a considerable amount of time on Miami, I suppose. Or something. But, anyway. So it was a time in mid 2015, and you know, I wanted to get both the Miami West Palm Beach route, along with the Chengdu to Suining route and the CRH 380D. But I only had enough money for one. I only had about $20 to spend, or I think it was 25 or something. I don't remember. And I basically was left with the choice to either get the Miami West Palm Beach route or get the Chengdu to Suining route with the CRH 380D. And this was a really tough decision for me to make, because I really wanted both DLCs just as equally as each other. But like I said, I only had enough money for one of those. So, however, Denny, who was there at the time, gave me a very interesting way of making my life a bit easier. And that was basically just flip a coin. Which was basically a game of heads or tails. Where, of course, heads... basically if I got heads, then I would get the Miami West Palm Beach route. If I got tails, then I would get the Chengdu to Suining route with the CRH 380D. But it wasn't actually like a heads or tails penny like that. It was actually some other kind of coin that I don't remember where I got it from. But you know, I basically decided that one side was going to be the Miami West Palm Beach route, and the other side was going to be the Chengdu to Suining route with the CRH 380D. Hey there, Phil Ballas. Welcome to the show, driving Miami West Palm Beach in the Amtrak P42, and of course the Amtrak Silver Star behind me as well. So far there's been an absolutely flawless service for today. I hope it remains that way. We'll have to go bed soon, unfortunately. Well, so I suppose. Anyway, as I was saying before, so I basically decided to, well, I said, because thanks to the suggestion of my daddy, I basically decided, that was going to be the way that I would choose which I would buy, either, like I said, the Miami West Palm Beach or Chengdu to Suining. So I flipped the coin, and I managed to land on Chengdu to Suining with CRH 380D. And so that was my choice of stuff for the summer sale. You know, I was still going to get the Miami West Palm Beach route at some point, although, of course, some more interesting DLCs came out at the time. So like I say, I was definitely going to get the Miami West Palm Beach route at some point, but I didn't know when to get it. So after a while, I kind of forgot about the Miami West Palm Beach route after that day in 2015, where I didn't know which DLC to buy. And I bought some basically more DLCs that were more to my liking, because there were some DLCs that came out, and there were some that I just wanted to buy so badly. And now, 3.5 years later, after that day that I decided to flip a coin, I said that was a bit earlier, I found out that the Miami West Palm Beach route would be the route that you would get with the Train Simulator 2019 US edition. And this Christmas, on the 24th, I bought the US edition and got this route. And I'm driving it right now. So, yep, it's only been 3.5 years, but now I am officially an owner of the Miami West Palm Beach route, thanks to the Train Simulator 2019 US edition. And I am a proud owner of it as well. And don't you worry, this won't be the last they see of this route as well. Well, And you might see this route again sometime, maybe in the summer. I don't know, but I can at least tell you that sometime in the near future, you will be seeing these coaches again. And if you haven't already checked the live stream schedule, well, you know, we'll see what I mean when the stream comes. We should be, I think it's going to be later in January. Hey, still around the spot. Train to go from my PS4 today and play again. Oh. Interesting. And yeah, we're going through Fort Lauderdale. These are very weird looking boxes. Oh, is this like a yard over here? This isn't gonna like. What the heck is all this? Also, hang on. Hang on. I just realized something. Doesn't that sound awfully familiar? Yeah, these shoreliner run sounds are now realized the same ones that are used on the TGV duplex. Yeah, like I already knew that, but yeah, they have indeed reused the shoreliner sounds onto the TGV duplex or the duplex coaches, and yeah, just give me a break. Although, actually, that reminds me, I actually want to test something. So, I know I originally said that I was going to use the Ampli 1 sounds on these coaches for the run sounds, but I just came up with a bit of a different idea. So, one other thing is I also own the, well, you may or may not know this already, but I also own the Sherman Hill route, which gives me quite a bit of American stuff. And there's actually, and the cars, the freight cars they get with the Sherman Hill route, have a very realistic sound to them, where, you know, the run sounds are actually really realistic, and those run sounds are actually very close to the sounds of the Ampli 1 or Ampli coaches. So I might actually try to put those on these Amplis instead of, well, I don't know. I'll see for myself which one sounds better. But anyway, also yeah, we're clearly going uphill, which is quite interesting. Also, speeding, balls. Oh yeah, I just realized now that we're just going uphill. And now we're going downhill over this bridge here, which actually looks quite interesting. Ooh, look at this bridge here. Well, it's like a rise bridge or something. I bet some small tugboats go through here, considering that, you know, this bridge doesn't even do anything in terms of movability. I don't know if that's a word. Oh, see, we're speeding, but yeah, I'll leave that over. So, get on the brakes now. Don't worry. I don't get on the brakes that much because the brakes are fairly overpowered on this locomotive. I just realized. I don't necessarily like the idea of overpowered brakes. Also, this ETA is a bit weird. I don't know, maybe we actually are going to get there at 1816 or 618 in real lifetime, but Oh, come on, Fort Lauderdale Airport. This would be an interesting location that we're coming up to. I'll say, apart from a few locations on this route, this route is really not the most exciting route to look at. Most of this route looks the same, honestly. You know, I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing, but is it just me, or does the majority of this route just look a bit samey? Because I was expecting to, you know, jump out at something that looked interesting, but so far, yeah, apart from a few occasions, not much has stuck out to me. Also, yeah, we are driving south, so we are driving up on the Miami Airport station. Also, are we speeding right now? Oh, I just went through a curve at a really high speed. Also, excuse me, as that horn echo a bit. Yeah, so we're going towards Miami Airport, which is I believe Miami Airport is the terminus for the Silver Star. Well, I say believe it. Well, it should be, considering that, you know, well, it's a terminus station in general. And, yeah. not a fan of these run sounds, honestly. Like, I don't know what Dovetail was thinking when they put these run sounds on these Ampli coaches. These ones sound fine, but the Ampli coaches are trash. Like the sounds of the P42. They missed the crossing. Well, that's probably really care about the crossing. Also, TSNY, close for him and for her. Interesting. Yep, totally not a reused asset that you guys just saw right there. It was an interesting reading. Hello, residents of Fort Lauderdale. It was almost the also, Miami's nice. Television is so good that it belonged in the 80s. Huh. I guess they're implying that TV everywhere else is rubbish. And TV here in Florida, or more specifically Miami, is actually good TV or something. I don't know. I wasn't born in the 1980s, so I don't really know. And to be fair, I really don't watch TV in general that often. So to be fair, I really don't care. Also, that rhymes somehow. Oh, Hollywood? Wait. Really? I know this route went through Hollywood. Huh. Hollywood, as you know, is the movie capital of the world. Oh, see, I don't know why, but for... Why? Oh, balls. That's very interesting sound. What is that noise? On the locomotives. Sounds weird. Like, I know it's me applying the combined brake and fall, but it's weird. Like, it's like, what does that sound? What does that sound like? Yeah, I'm basically clueless. I wish Domtron could do a bit of explaining to me, because, you know, Domtron, like I said, he actually got the P42 as well, and honestly knows the P42 a bit better than I do, considering I'm driving it for the first time, and yeah, there is some silliness that I don't understand, as you can see right here. Also, crossing in Hollywood is coming up. Hollywood. You know what was weird? That originally, for some reason, I thought Hollywood was set in California. The next thing, Hollywood was located in Florida. Of course, another 79. Okay, you see why it might take a bit of a while, because now we're in a 45, and we're going to be here for a considerable amount of time. Indeed we are. I'm curious to check a few things. You know, it's a bit stupid of me to do this in the live stream. I just want to check something on the iPad at the moment. Yeah, don't mind me. Yeah, I know you should be paying attention to the route, but, you know. To be fair, the route is, I don't know, I feel like this route is just a bit samey looking. Oh, wait, is this a, oh, this is a quiet zone. Very interesting. I wonder what Russell would think about that. Anyway. Oh, balls were speeding again. Balls. Yeah. Oh well. We're good. Hey. Oh, that's convenient, Russell. I was just seeing what you were up to over on Hangouts. Yeah, good luck trying to get back into Top Gear, by the way. Also, I just, my crazy just missed something. Well, we should go on to 3 tracks at the moment. Yep, I warned Russell, but he never listens to me, so if he wants to get himself back into Top Gear, then oh well. It's gonna take a miracle to do that now. But he asked for it. He got it. You know, now we're on the topic of Russell, I actually want to, you know, maybe, well, I just want to tell you guys, I did tell a story of what happened last night. Okay, these rev sounds really loud, though. And I just tell you a little story about what happened last night, and the reason why there wasn't a Roblox fight from yesterday. So, as you know, I was going to do a Roblox fight from yesterday, but I didn't, because I usually like to do these, I think it's supposed to come before the crossing. Yeah, I am actually supposed to build one before the crossing. I'm just too lazy to do that. But that's just me. Anyway, as I was saying, so there was a story basically what happened last night, which is the reason why I didn't do a Roblox fight for yesterday. So Rosalie was causing confusion and delay, and apparently first it was Zeranet, and then he just left before the live stream for no reason. And the reason being was basically Russell basically got himself involved, was basically a Top Gear 2.0 ripoff. Because, well, that's an interesting looking bridge. Because while Russell, of course, does have a significant role here in Top Gear 2.0, Russell also likes to play basically a significant role with basically a clone of Top Gear, except instead of Russell, me, and Domtron, instead Russell and 2 other morons. You know, one of which is a disgrace to Amtrak, and the other is just a, I don't know, just a weirdo that, I don't know, turns things into a really weird context, basically. And, so Russell was playing with these 2 little sausages yesterday. And, yeah, Russell was close to getting lots and lots of jail time, you know. I had to kick Russell out of Top Gear, for that time being. I was hoping that Russell would be able to improve his behavior today. Instead, Russell decided to do the exact opposite of that today. And basically, what happened is that Russell, well, I tried to give Russell a call for Hangouts. And, yeah, he wouldn't allow that. So, I basically wouldn't allow Russell to get back in Top Gear. Ever, basically. Well, I don't know. I'll sign that eventually, but... You know, I guess it really say Russell will be spending at least 160 days in jail now. And today is basically the first day that counts. Also, we're almost at Miami Airport, easily enough. Okay, yeah, we're 12 miles away. Yet for some reason, the ETA is all... Wait, I don't know. Why is you in the US so weird? Why is it no matter where you are? 79. You know, I was actually wondering to myself the exact same thing, like, last night. Like, I know that this route has, like, a lot of 79 miles an hour speed limits. And that's the thing across lots of lines in America. And honestly, I'm starting to wonder why as well. Although, I say I wonder why. I do have a bit of a theory, though. Like this, yeah, well, I'm about to say it's actually a theory. It's not actually true, but basically, so this is a thing across most freight routes in the United States. And what I believe is that, like, way back in the day when American freight railroads were a brand new thing, in God knows what year, so basically the builders of the line were going to set the speed limit for the line, and, well, one person wanted the speed limit to be 70 miles per hour, but another person wanted the speed limit to be 80 miles per And then I guess the manager thought that 80 miles per hour was too fast, or felt too fast, but at the same time 70 miles per hour felt a little bit too slow. So they were like, you know what? Let's make the speed limit 79 miles per hour. So we'll seem like just the right speed, not too fast and not too slow. And so now the speed limit is 79 miles per hour on I'd say most American routes that are basically most American freight routes. I think some passenger routes as well, but mostly freight routes in the United States. And as you can see, that's still a thing to this day, and even I think it's a little bit weird. But hey, that's America for you. Anyway, so back to the story of Russell. So, well, I did basically wrap up the story of Russell, you know. I can't really tell you Russell will be spending lots and lots of days in jail. And personally, I'm debating on whether Russell will come back Top Gear ever. You know, I know I kind of teased at the beginning of the live stream, but I might as well just explain it now. Since Russell decided to turn up. Well, I say turn up. He's basically just put dots in the chat and said nothing that even is anything. Well, I guess the Acela goes faster than 79 miles per hour. Well, it does on the vast majority of Northeast Corridor. You know, the Acela, because Acela reached a top speed of 150 miles an hour on two parts of Northeast Corridor, being in Rhode Island and in Massachusetts. And on most of the Northeast Corridor, the Acela does about 120 to 125 miles an hour, maybe 130 along some sections. There are occasions where the Acela does have to go as slow as 79 miles per hour on Northeast Corridor. Because of, I know why, because of slow sections of the route, but we might want to hope that Amtrak fixes that when they get their new Acela Expresses, the Avalia Liberties, this year, actually. Yeah, but this is now officially the year that the Avalia Liberty will begin testing. I really hope Amtrak tweet about that, because I kind of want to catch one of these trains for myself. Well, because it's the new Acela, and two, I live so close to Northeast Corridor, it's basically impossible not, well, I say impossible not catch next to the Acela, I can bet you that when the Avalia Liberty Acela, the new one, enters service, it'll be as rare as the E664 was in 2014. So, but I kind of hope that Amtrak does the same thing that the LNER did. Like, remember when the LNER painted one of their, well, I say painted, of course recently the LNER painted one of their Class 91 locomotives into a classic inner-city swallow paint job. And that runs on the East Coast Mainland. And the guys at LNER themselves, over on Twitter, they tweeted out the services that the Interstate Swallow Class 91 locomotive would be running on, so then rail fans would be able to get their cameras ready. Which I thought was really cool, because, it really conveniences rail fans, because, they know which train that the Class 91 locomotive is going to be on, so they can get there and expect the train to actually be there. I really hope Amtrak does the same thing with their new Avalia Liberty high-speed trains. There's a 95% chance they won't, because they usually never do. If they do, though, that will honestly make my life a heck of a lot easier. Because even if it's in the summertime, I'll definitely pay a visit to Northeast Corridor a few times just to see the new Avalia Liberty in action. I really want to. Well, we're almost at Miami Airport, and so far this route has been a bit bland. Like, it's not the worst looking route in the world, but sure as heck isn't the best looking either. Maybe it's just because I'm driving in snowy weather. I bet you if I drove this route in like sunshine, I would like to be able to see this route in its glory. But oh well, and maybe just because the fact that I'm doing a live stream, I'm doing all this commentary and stuff. In Germany, it's not difficult to spot the train you want to see. You just have to know where it runs. Hmm. Well, hmm. Well, I guess Germany's a little bit different. Although here in the United States, and this has been a thing. Well, this has been a thing in my life twice now, and will be a thing for a third time when the newest Scylla comes in. Where, well, basically started with the Amtrak A664 locomotive, and the thing is that well, I mean, it should be easy to catch or it would be easy to catch an A664 back in 2014 because of course the only line that the A664 actually runs on is Northeast Corridor, which runs from Washington D.C. to Boston, Massachusetts. Although that distance is about, I'm not too sure, but it's roughly 700 miles. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, if you were to look out for the A664, not knowing which train it's on and not knowing where it would be at the time, then you would basically have to spend at least 24 hours at the Northeast Corridor just to see that A664 that you're trying to look for. And, you know, it wasn't necessarily that much of a severe case second time in my life, which was that MBI blah blah locomotive that MBTA got. You know, that wasn't such a terrible case. Because, of course, the MPI blah blah only runs on. Well, I say that. Actually, no, it was a bit of a tough case actually, because the MBTA is an entire network, or the MBTA commuter is an entire network of lines, and which goes all over Massachusetts, which is a radius of so big I don't even know. So it made the MPI blah 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 locomotive hard to catch because it doesn't run a single line. It runs on all the MBTA lines. So, you know, I mean, I guess it wasn't that difficult, but at the same time, it was just sauces here and there. But of course, you know, those two locomotives questions did get easier to catch because now Amtrak has received all 70 of their A664s, even though two of them have been damaged beyond repair thanks to Amtrak's stupidity. So now it's basically as easy as pie to catch an A664 because they're now on every single regional, every single Silver Star, and every single Keystone, which are super easy to catch. And oh, also, just want to show you something related to the route. So anyway, getting off topic of that for a second there. Here's some other stuff that's included with the My Little Beach route. So now, of course, not only do you get the Amtrak P42 with Silver Star equipment, but you also get some freight stuff. So you get the CSX-8 thing locomotive. You also get some various freight cars included. You get this box car here. You get this. I think this is like a games makes a bit. Oh. You get this refrigerated car here, which is quite interesting. You get this hopper car here. You get this other hopper car here, which is in red, which is quite interesting. You get this hopper car here. You can have a unloaded version, a loaded version. Same for this gondola car. You get an unloaded version, a loaded version. It's quite interesting. I think this is scrap metal actually. Yeah, it's definitely scrap metal. And you have a CSX refrigerated box car and a tanker car thing. So you get some pretty interesting freight stuff with this route, which I think looks quite cool. And you get this locomotive as well, but just this locomotive only. Of course, you can run this locomotive in a double formation to make it look a bit more nicer, but lol. Anyway, getting back on top of Northeast Corridor. Yeah, let's see. It's 24 hours. Well, 700 miles. In Germany, you would only need 4 hours to get from Berlin to Munich, kind of north to south, and they run 3 times per day. Yeah, that's not necessarily the case with my world and being next to Northeast Corridor, because Northeast Corridor is much longer. And of course, there's still one train that's still today impossible to, or near impossible to catch, and that is the ACS-64 Veterans Unit. So yeah, Amtrak, of course, being an American railroad, and us as Americans put on our veterans, even though I basically know next to nothing about that, so I don't really care. But Amtrak, of course, does. So they painted only one of their ACS-64 locomotives in that special veterans thingamajiggy paint job. And there is only one of those in existence, which means that to this day and possibly forever will be a super rare sight on Northeast Corridor, simply because of how rare it is. There's only one in existence, so good luck. And that's not going to be the case with the Via Liberty SP train when that comes into play. Is there a Metro? No, Metro transfer station. Wait, Metro Rail. Wait a second. Are you telling me there are metros nearby? There is. Wow. This is a poorly detailed station, by the way. I'll just say myself, but yep, there's a metro on this line. Even though this would be a station with it, but oh man, the designer is so lazy. Wow. And they even bother putting in platforms and things. Oh, what a lazy design. Holy moly. Oh, that is so lazy. Also, Diamond coming up here. I think that's quite interesting. I just love the way that sound, or the train sounds when it goes over the diamond like that. But yeah, as I was saying, of course, the Avila Liberty Acela, whatever you want to call it, will be brand new, which means it will be next to Paul first, you know. Of course, fast forward to the year 2021 when all the new Acelas are delivered. They'll basically be as easy to catch as the ACA 64 is now. But, oh man, I can't wait to relive what I lived back in 2014 and catching a train that is next to impossible. Well, I shouldn't say impossible. It's more so very hard. Like, it's not impossible. It's just very hard. Although, if Amtrak is nice enough to tell us where and when the new Acelas will be running, and if I'm crazy enough to spend a long time next to Northeast Corridor, I'll definitely consider dropping by Northeast Corridor for a day. Because I can at least tell you, it will be well worth it in the end. Because I'll be one of the first people ever to see, or one of the first ever rail fans to see the Avila Liberty Acela Express high-speed train, whatever you want to call it, in person. I really want to be that person. Anyway, almost there. Well, you could have a challenge in Germany. Perhaps you heard the ICE train crashed at Eschede in 1998. One of the power cars still runs up to date. If you know its number, you could go and search for it. Interesting. I do know of that ICE train crash, and I did know though that that locomotive was still in service. Very interesting. Well, I said I do know that in that crash, basically, with the exception of the lead locomotive and I think the first coach or first two coaches, the entire rest of the train was completely destroyed in the crash. Unfortunately. Although very interesting to know that the locomotive, the lead locomotive that was involved in that crash, still runs to this day. Huh. Anyway, we're almost at Miami Airport, and we're entering a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. Hooray! I guess we'll be crawling our way into Miami Airport. It's the front one that was completely undamaged, and that's why it still runs today. I wonder if that was still running to this day. I guess it is. Well, I just learned a very interesting fact about the Eschede train crash. Of course, that was a very unfortunate crash, but good to know that the locomotive still runs today. Well, it's a little bit of a silly saying, to be fair, because, well, if a locomotive is undamaged, then there's a 99.9% chance that's still gonna be used in service. That's based, that of course that's still the same scenario for other rolling stock that might get involved in accidents. Like, there was the Amtrak Big Bayou Canot crash, and which involved some of those Superliner coaches, so sleepers. Not these ones, the taller ones. And some of those ones were completely undamaged and are still running, are still in service to this day. And well, to be fair, this is related to basically any train accident. For the most part. Well, it was an interesting single section of track. I say for the most part. I'll have to go to bed, unfortunately. Alright, well, see you later, so Boundless. Hope you turn up soon. Also, thanks for the single track banter. Well, we're almost at Miami Airport anyway, so it doesn't it's not a bad thing of a deal. Well, also we're gonna get there at Miami Airport exactly at the time that the ETA says that we're gonna get there. Well, there's an interesting bridge coming up, but anyways, you know what's also interesting? Speaking of train crashes, so of course, as we know, Amtrak. Well, of course, they got their AC-64s, but yeah, 2 of their AC-64s got damaged, basically. Also, on the side, this is a very interesting looking bridge, and I'm most definitely gonna get a screenshot here, if I can get the timing correct. Nice. Anyway, as I was saying, I remember at one point, Amtrak mentioned, or, well, I don't know if they specifically mentioned this, but, you know, some said that the 2 AC-64s that were damaged in their respective crashes, you know, there was one that was involved in the crash that happened in Philly, and there was the other one that crashed into the backhoe. You know, it was originally said at one point that those 2 AC-64s were going to be repaired, even as a result of those accidents. Also, there's the metro again. Although, I actually found this out from watching, you know, 1000 Sound Productions. You guys know of 1000T Sound Productions or whatever? You know, the guy who does the train crash documentaries. I actually found out from watching his video on the Philadelphia crash that, eventually, it was eventually decided that the 2 AC-64s that were involved in their respective accidents were deemed damaged beyond repair and are now used as a source for spare parts. Which is really interesting, because I figured that those AC-64s would be able to be built up again and, you know, continue using service. I guess not. Also, we're coming up on something very interesting. I think. Okay, we just gotta come to a stop now, by the way, because we're coming up on the end of the platform. Or the end of the line in general. Well, we made it. In 1 hour and 15 minutes, we have now crossed the entire Miami West Palm Beach route. Scenery is, kind of bland, except in a few places, but overall, not a favorite route of mine. And to be fair, you know, of course I will do some stuff with the CSX-8, and of course some stuff with the Silver Star as well, which is one of the big reasons why I want to get this route. Also, okay, do not come to a stop. Do not come to a... Okay, I haven't come to a... Yeah, I need to be a bit soft on the brakes this locomotive because they're extremely overpowered. Okay, if you want to power up again, so we can pull up to the end of the platform, that'd be greatly appreciated. Let's go up to 3 miles per hour. And good enough. And here we are, at Miami Airport. They call it the airport. Is there actually an airport nearby? Well, there is the metro, which actually looks nicely detailed. Apart from that, is this fencing in real life, or is that just more lazy detailing? I actually can't tell. Although, all this fog here is not making any better. Like if it was a clear sunny day, I'd probably be able to see Miami Airport, but I kind of can't at the moment. Anyway, so I guess continuing my point on continuing what I'm talking about with the AC-64 crashes, you know, I figured that, you know, they might be able to fix those up, but I guess not. So, there you go. Well, that's the end of the talk about the actions and the sausages, and that is the end of this live stream on the Miami West Palm Beach route. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this live stream. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. And until next time, as a person walks right through me, until next time, Merry Winter Holidays!